You can take bigger chunks versus only taking small chunk when you're cutting versus, you know, Climax or whatever you're using. The wise power, you can push to limits and it won't bog down. It just eats and cuts. I'm Austin Sweeney with Little Sweeney's Welding. We're here in Mount Washington, Kentucky. I do anything from welding natural gas pipe to structural steel to welding your lawn chairs back together to heavy equipment to farm equipment. Pretty much whatever you got, aluminum, stainless, you know, we can take care of you on it. My grandpa was a welder. My dad was a welder. He started the business with you know, just he worked for somebody and got off. Then my dad took it to the next level. About 91, he went full business for himself, and then I came along, got older, and I started making money at the older shop, and that's how I started my business with my dad and my grandpa, and just learning from them, watching them on how to do stuff and get into it. Then I caught the eye of line boring. I was working for somebody that just was a defense contractor. We didn't do no line boring or nothing, was machine shop. And I've seen a lot of videos on it where people could make pretty good money with it. So I wanted to take a chance and get a machine and try it out. Then I went to work for Boyd Cat and a Caterpillar dealership, and we have a Climax machine, and I started using it, and then I ordered my machine. Well, I went with Wise Power because, one, I don't have to spend 50 grand to get a machine and a bore welder. I can spend 10 grand and get a bore welder and the whole setup that I need, and I won't have a lot of overhead by using this machine, and I can take on jobs and make really good money with the machine for less money, and it does a good job. Machine's China made, but it's pretty good machine. You know, you can cut fast with it. You don't have to sit there all day. You can bog it down and still cut, and it's just a really simple machine to get set up and used versus the Climax. The Climax uses 2 pin points to hook it. Then you have an Allen head that you clamp down to the bar, versus this is the bearings. You have it screwed into you use screws to screw it into your bearings, and everything else is a whole lot more stronger, I think, and sturdier versus the Climax that just has 1 pin holding it and a Allen head holding it. The Climax, you have to take the motor off to set up the bore welder. With the Wise Power, you do not have to tear down half of the setup to line bore. With the Wise Power, you can just, you know, set your bore welder up and go from there, versus Climax, you know, you got to do a whole lot more work versus Wise Power. I like the control box a whole lot with the Wise Power versus the Climax. I mean, all your settings are right there. You got 2 remotes for your Wise Power, and your Climax is just a stop and go kind of deal, and that's it. There's nothing special about it or nothing. The Climax machine, you have to sit up. It takes longer to bore something versus the Wise Power. The Wise Power, you can speed it up a little bit more and it cut a little faster than the Climax. I think it's the servo motor and the type of tooling you use versus brush machines and stuff like that, you know, that bog down or won't stand up to it pretty much with the servo machine. I haven't got a chance to, you know, push it to its limit yet, you know, but hopefully I get a chance to do that. When I got my shipment of my Wise Power machine, it was awesome because everything was packed in the pack out. All I had to do is take all the stuff out and take all the foam out, then put everything back, and it was easy, simple, and fit in there really nice. I organize it how I want it to, but it fits in there real nice, and it's, you know, you can put it in back of your truck or back of your pickup truck and just go. You don't have to have a crane. We have at work is a big box, metal box, everything goes in, but you got to have a crane to lift it, this and that, you know. It's just a lot more hassle versus the pack out stuff. Everything's right in there. You don't have to go look for stuff, and it's a whole lot simpler and easier to load up.
But if someone from across the country reached out to you and said, hey, I see you're using this S-Power. Would you recommend it? What are its benefits? What would you tell them?
I'd tell them that I like it very much versus any other machine. And like I said, I've only done a couple jobs, so I don't know the ins and outs of it very much yet, or the tricks. But I would try to help them out as much as I can with it and tell them I would buy another one for my business.